The realm of AAA gaming is going to a very dark place in a lot of ways, and it really sucks because gaming is one of the most important things to me ever, because it is one of the things that I have found the most comfort with and the most joy from throughout my entire life. And I consider it a very strong form of art that I connect with more than almost any other form of visual media, whether it be movies, whether it be books, whether it be, well, music is a visual media, but regardless, video games are simply what I connect with the most, right? Not to say that the other forms of art and media aren't important to me, but video games are just what have me, right? Which is why it's really sad to me to see so many greedy things happening within the realm of the AAA space, with all the different layoffs and AI and, the biggest one right now with PlayStation not giving us physical copies of anything, completely eradicating the physical market and basically making it so that your player base is only renting their games that can be taken away at a given moment, right? So suffice to say, it's looking very bleak in the space of gaming, which is why I have dedicated myself to start delving into more of the past games that I have yet to play, get into things that that have been on my radar for ages, a lot of old RPGs and stuff like that I never got into. I want to play Chrono Trigger on this channel, I want to play Golden Sun probably on this channel, I'm going to play Yakuza soon, right? But another thing that I've dedicated myself to is wanting to play more indie titles, right? Recently I just played Dench Attack. I obviously, one of my favorite games of all time now, Undertale and Deltarune is still getting updated to this day. And recently, not even recently per se, I've kept my eye on this game for quite some time now. I have been very antsy to get my hands on a little game called Duskfade. I have seen little bits and pieces of this game's development throughout the years, seeing the devs post little things on Twitter here and there, I believe, unless I'm crazy and I imagined it, but I assume this was the same game. It's just completed now, so it looks a little on the different side, but I have seen Duskfade here and there all over the place, and watching it get picked up by major studios to publish and things like that is such an amazing accomplishment for a little team just building their dream title, just putting all of their inspirations into one package and setting that off into the world and showing them, hey, this is our creation. And that's an incredible thing, right? Now, it's really great that this game is getting all the types of recognition that it deserves. What really sucks about it right now is just the position that it's in with PlayStation, because again, people are heavily boycotting PlayStation right now because of their no disc situation, their no physical media fizzle out situation, right? So, a lot of people are opting to get their games elsewhere, right? And this is definitely heavily affecting a lot of indie titles too. And I'm really hoping that in the case of Duskfade, that it does really well on other platforms, right? I think they did say that it was coming to Switch day one. Thank God, right? Because I am willing to get it on PC, but at the end of the day, I am a console gamer. Like, consoles are where my love lies, right? Nothing wrong with PC. I will play PC games. I have a PC that is capable of playing games. That's not an issue. But, a controller in hand in front of a proper screen, it's just, that's just where I'm most at home, okay? So, I am very likely to pick up Duskfade on Nintendo Switch, assuming that's a day one situation. If not, worst case, it's going to be a PC pickup. One way or another, it's going to be day one. And at the time of this recording, it is officially August, which means that we are in the release month for this game. And that's extremely exciting because, now, I'm kind of backtracking through a couple of things. I just finished Splatoon Raiders. I just finished Dense Attack recently. So the two games that have been clouding everything else for me have been completed, although there's still a lot of stuff that I could do with Splatoon. But I could put more focus on more games like Duskfade, right? So I'm really excited to get into that. Now, one of the reasons why this game has been so heavily on my radar is because this game has been marketed towards, specifically PlayStation fans that grew up with Ratchet and Clank and Kingdom Hearts. Now, I'm going to be completely honest here. I did grow up on PlayStation. I did not really get the chance to play much Ratchet and Clank, so I feel like I can't really appreciate that aspect of it as much, but I feel like, you know, I've seen enough Ratchet and Clank to know where a lot of the, you know, different aspects will be coming from when I get my hands on it, right? But, you know, more importantly to me specifically, obviously, is the Kingdom Hearts aspect, right? And you could see it in pretty much every trailer, every little piece of like a demo or whatever that they've ever showcased, that this game is dripping with inspiration from both games, right? It has the more like heavier platform aspects of like the Ratchet and Clank titles and stuff like that, Jak and Daxter, but also the combat and general sauce and, you know, visual styles of Kingdom Hearts, right? You could see like the cool, like, what's the word, like edgy, not edgy coloring per se. It's funny, I love art. Don't ask me to describe it. You know what I'm saying? But it has a very familiar like tone to it that's very reminiscent of Kingdom Hearts in a lot of different ways, especially in the coloring, especially in the design of the characters and their outfits and their weapons, specifically the main character. And, you know, the way they move, the way they fight is just simply just dripping with that familiar Kingdom Hearts combat, with also, like, while also managing to, that was weird. Managing to keep that like fun and bouncy style and aesthetic of, you know, early PS2 with Ratchet and Clank, with Jak and Daxter, in the way they jump, in the way they move, in the way they hover, in the way they utilize their arsenal, right? And I'm over the moon about this game because this game is so inspiring. Even though I haven't touched this game yet, I have not touched this game. I have not played a demo or anything like that. I'm so unbelievably excited for it because this is one of those games that really goes to show that, you know, when you put your mind to something, when you have something that you really, really care about and you take inspiration from that to, you know, create your own art, that is a beautiful process to witness. And that is precisely what's happening here. These devs created something that they love so incredibly much, and I really, really want to see that succeed, right? Everything about this game makes me want to just sit down, boot up a PS2, and get back into some true classics, right? Because this embodies that. This embodies people that have grown up with video games and love them to absolute death. And that is the kind of thing that's extremely important to me. And it's why I implore you to really dip your toes more into the indie space, because right now the AAA space is in true, genuine danger, for lack of a better way to put it, right? As much as I love so many of these different IPs, even from Nintendo, you know what I'm saying? We're in a very dangerous market now where things are simply getting way too expensive and way too big for their britches, right? They are putting out games that are sometimes unfinished and unclean and, you know, not giving us high quality for, you know, the price that we're putting out for these games, right? Meanwhile, on the other side of the river, we're seeing all these indie developers that are, you know, they're taking their time, they're building something that they truly, genuinely love, and, you know, obviously it's okay to want to make a profit off of something that you made and care about. That's more than okay. It's not shallow, right? And, you know, I'm just saying, more importantly, though, they definitely give us, you know, a reasonable price range for games like this that they simply want to put into the people's hands, right? They want to see people playing this game, loving this game, enjoying this game as much as they do. They want to see you loving this game as much as they loved creating it. And that is why, you know, I really, starting more with, you know, more games like Dench Attack, like Duskfade, I want to delve much more heavily into the indie space and really see what it has to offer, because I think, you know, after this year especially, we're going to have to be doing a lot of that, because yeah, the AAA space it's starting to hurt my heart seeing what's happening to a lot of these games. Now, again, it's not everybody, it's not every single thing. Obviously, there's definitely studios that still have a semblance of love for what they're creating, you know what I'm saying? And I would like to think that is, you know, the fact, especially for, you know, games that I care about, like Nintendo, you know, from Nintendo, of course. I still think that Nintendo is the best of the three in terms of actually caring about the games that they create and the, you know, caring a little bit more about the consumer, even though they have their moments, you know, they can be really shady sometimes too. I still love Nintendo, don't get me wrong, but they can definitely make some questionable decisions, right? But, you know, there's still games out there, you know, within Nintendo, even within, you know, it's going to sound ironic to say this, but PlayStation and Xbox, that I feel, you know, I would definitely love to see more of. Obviously, Kingdom Hearts, I want to see more of. I really hope that Kingdom Hearts 4 is something truly special. And I can't imagine that they spent all this time in the dark developing it without, you know, getting ready to show us something really, really special, right? In the case of, you know, Ocarina of Time coming out soon, or even, you know, more sooner than that, we have Fire Emblem and stuff like that. You know, these are games that I definitely care about, but, you know, it really sucks for me to sit here and be worried about, you know, how much they're going to be charging and what that's going to mean about, you know, for the future of gaming and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Because every decision made with major AAA title games like that makes a big impact, especially for, you know, major titles like Ocarina of Time, that is going to be on everybody's radar. It's going to be extremely important. And it's going to be one of them ones that you can't really ignore. And, you know, they're definitely going to want to take advantage of that and make a bigger profit out of it if they possibly can, which means, you know, don't be shocked if we're seeing another $80 title from Ocarina of Time, simply because it's Legend of Zelda. It is one of them ones, and they know that you're still living off that high of Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. They know that you're excited for the Zelda movie, so they want to, you know, make sure to take advantage of that, because at the end of the day, while they are a game development company, they are a company. They are a business first and foremost, okay? Which is something that I feel you don't get nearly as much with indie titles, right? So, again, I very heavily implore that if you have any general interest in this game, do yourself a favor and probably pick this sucker up, because I have almost no doubt in my mind that you likely won't be going wrong with a game like this one. It has absolute sauce. I have no doubt that the music is gonna cook. The visuals are very stylistic and just easy on the eyes, just easy to look at. And, you know, its inspirations say a lot, and it's dripping with that. So I say take a look into it if you have the opportunity, because I definitely will be. I might do a little something on the channel with it, whether it be like a super cut or something of like my playthrough, or maybe I'll stream it one day or something. Maybe on that day one release, I'll give it a little stream or something. We'll see what happens, because I do need more of an excuse to do stuff like that. But my day job takes so much out of me. But regardless, that's where I'm at with that. Overall, I'm really excited for Duskfade. I hope you guys are too. And if by chance one of the dev members see this, keep cooking, you guys. I'm really looking forward to this game. Hopefully you guys are cooking up more for us down the road, whether it be DLC for this game, or if you guys are working on that next one, or maybe you're waiting to see if Duskfade 2 is a possibility. Hey, I'm all for it, right? So that's something we're gonna have to play by ear. That being said, I'm passing the mic over in your direction, and I want you guys to tell me everything that you're thinking in the comment section below. Do you agree that Duskfade has something special within it based on the little bit that you may have seen about it? Is it dripping with that familiar sauce that you know and love growing up as a PS2 kid, and this is something that you're definitely interested in and wouldn't mind picking up a little indie game just to see what they've been working on for so long? Or are you on the opposing side? This is not really something that interests you, this is just not your type of game, and this is just something that might fall off your radar, even if, you know, it popped up for now. Tell me everything that you guys are thinking in the comment section below, because you know for a fact that I'm always gonna be down there with you guys. But with that, yes ma'am, it does appear to be skedaddle o'clock, so I'm gonna go ahead and do just that. I'd like to thank you guys ever so much for watching. I truly do hope you enjoyed. Do me the greatest favor of dropping a like and a comment, and consider subscribing for more content just like this here. And with that, I'm gone, so thanks again, hope you enjoyed, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next video. Doing the greatest favor of taking good ass care, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!